You have found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, we are going to talk about the Bulls standing pat at the trade deadline and it paying off in a loss to the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to get into it all and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/Locked On today to get started. That's Pat, the designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. Oh, man, that's funny. So, Pat.
I love you, dog.
I love you too, bro. I really do. Oh, man, it's been a day. It's been a day, man. So the Bulls decided to stand pat. But before we talk about the lack of action at the trade deadline, hey, man, the Bulls got beat by the Brooklyn Nets, a team that was built on continuity versus a team that's been together 2 games. How do you feel about it?
I mean, listen, it's laughable at this point, right? Like, AK literally said the East is wide open because the Nets sold.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Bro, Restream is tripping today, bro. Continue.
All right. It's laughable at this point, right? Like you are AK said that he was going to, that the East was wide open, and then you immediately lost to the Brooklyn Nets after saying, oh, well, it's wide open because the Nets are a team that now is beatable. You know what I mean? Like it is. They came out with no heart. They came out with no effort. They came out with no fight. And they look like the exact team that we saw on the other side of the trade deadline, on this side of the trade deadline. Nothing changed. Nothing was different. I don't know why people thought that because a day went by, or AK thought, I should say, not people, why AK thought because a day went by that you did absolutely nothing. No, it couldn't have been a work day for you, right? You had to be like on the golf course or something.
You lost on your day off.
He lost on his day off, bro. He was hitting the links. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way he was playing. He was on the phones today. Like, it blows my mind that we think that this iteration of the Bulls is as untouchable as we say. And it blows my mind because, like, you looked at the team tonight versus the Nets, and it just looked like all night no one had answers. Zach LaVine was the answer. And you know what? There's too many nights where there's one answer and then nothing else. There's too many nights where there's one answer and then nothing else. Zach LaVine was an answer tonight. The rest of everybody else on this team doesn't even know what the question was tonight. And that's the problem that we keep seeing.
Bro, I over on Chicago Bulls Central today had my therapy session, so I'm a little bit more centered right now than what I would have been had we went into this right after the game. But all I can say is this. I said this over there, though. I'm just going to bring this over here. We're in a relationship with a team that doesn't love us back, and they don't care.
That is literally my pinned tweet.
Yep.
That's my pinned tweet.
That's funny, bro.
From like 10 games ago, bro.
It's almost laughable, bro. Like, and the Bulls came out, and they eventually took the lead in the first and lost it back, and I'm just like, hey, what is happening here? Then we went down by 3 at halftime. Zach LaVine's cooking. I'm like, hey, listen, Zach's cooking. All we got to do is have DeMar or Vooch step up. One of them usually do. And then very quickly, they did get they tied it briefly for a second again, and I had no belief in it. That's when my brain broke, bro. When I literally looking at this team and I'm like, yeah, they just tied it back, but we still not about to win. I had no faith, none, that we were gonna win.
And I think the biggest issue here is now, like, you're going into multiple games. We're now on the other side of the trade deadline, and the biggest question is, where's the leadership on this team? And yet again, you're going into the buyout market, very much like you did last year, looking for somebody who can add leadership to your team. You don't find that in the buyout market. You're going into this team tonight looked like Billy Donovan. Listen, brother, I'm a defender. I'm somebody that at times, I'm not going to say, drop my mouse. I'm not going to say that I'm your biggest fan. I probably was the first Bulls streamer to say, before he was even in the talks, the day he was fired from OKC, he would be a terrible hire here because he doesn't adjust. He's lost with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Chris Paul. But when you've gotten here, I've still defended saying the players need to do more. I still believe the players need to do more. But why? On God's good green earth, when Zach LaVine is cooking, do you take out a 26-year-old player? He's not 40. He is 26. Bro, he does nothing but play basketball. He's 26 years old. Why are we acting like, oh, well, we got to make sure that he's not too tired by the end of this game?
I can see if we were having a back-to-back. It's no back-to-back. We got a day off. You didn't even have shoot-around today. You decided not to do shoot-around because you wanted to walk through a hotel ballroom.
Bro, what was they doing? The two-step? They was tangoing in the ballroom, bro?
Bro, I have no idea.
What are we doing here?
Bro, now I need that image of Billy Donovan and Patrick Williams tangoing in the ballroom. But, like, bro, it makes no sense, bro. Yeah. Listen, they're not doing anything else.
It's a little strange the last couple of days, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because Billy Donovan isn't coaching. Patrick Williams didn't play the last 14 minutes. They might as well tango together in the ballroom. They might as well.
P. Will was dealing with an ankle injury. He was coming into this game with an ankle.
I get that.
Injury.
Yes, he's dealing with the ankle. He probably hurt the ankle dancing with Billy Donovan.
He hurt the ankle dancing with Billy. Bro, it blows my mind because it's just I get it at certain points, right? Like I get staggering the players. I get all of the actual coaching part of this, right? But there's a part where you just have to let players cook.
Yeah.
He was cook. You want to know what puts this game away? Zach LaVine cooking. Billy Donovan would have took LeBron James out the shot before he broke Kareem's record. Like,
yeah,
listen,
you got to reserve him for the next game. He could break it the next game. You got to reserve him.
Here's the thing. I'm not a fire Billy. I'm not that guy. But I'm looking for logic in what we're doing here. I just want to understand the lot. Don't give me the Matt Nagy word salad, bro. I just want to understand. You watched him destroy. Fam, he hit a shot falling left, put it up right while being fouled. It hit off the glass, went in. Easy money. He was cooking. He is a scoring assassin. And you said, hey, bro, hey, chill all that out.
Hey, you doing all that scoring. We don't need that.
Chill all that out, bro. What you doing? You scoring too much. How dare you? Like I'm looking for the logic in it. I can't find the logic in it. I can't figure out where this Bulls team is going to get improvement from. I have said this clearly, and tonight shows the difference. You want to see the difference that a point guard makes? I don't know if Jacques Vaughn's been with the Nets for a while, right? I'm not tripping on that. Like he's been with the Nets through like all of their changes. So now he's a head coach in this situation, I think. And Spencer Dinwiddie coming back is able to acclimate himself into that system. You want to know what a good point guard does for you? That. Spencer Dinwiddie came in, was like, okay, let's keep moving. Let's do this. You know what spot you're supposed to. Boom, that's what you get. Yuta Watanabe, the beginning of a Kanye West song, was killing you from the corner all night. By the way, Mr. I can't get rid of Alex Caruso for anything but 2 first-round picks. How about you get over there a little bit? Like it's asinine, standing pat at the deadline. And I'm not, and we'll talk about this right as we get in the next segment. We'll go deeper into what they did at the deadline or didn't do right. But there's nothing here in this buyout market. I get there's point guards, right? Russell Westbrook, John Wall, Patrick Beverley, all the dudes that we have laughed about a lot this season. Y'all think they just they just finna all of a sudden be back? Russ the best of the bunch. And I'm a Russ fan. And I just want to see it because I think it'll look good. I don't think we actually going to win much. I shouldn't say that. We'll win during the season. If we get Russ, we'll win during the season. Russ will get us into the playoffs, right? And then,
bro, I have no faith in this. I I don't know
Yeah,
what to
he
get us
will.
into the playoffs, bro.
He will.
No.
Russell get us into the playoffs.
You know
why?
what? It's going to be like the episode of Simpsons where Homer had every disease possible and it kind of kept themselves in balance. You add cancer of Russell Westbrook to cancer, it kind of just balances each other out. That's what it does.
I will say this though, because there's one thing that Russ brings. One, MVP, leader of a team. Russ was a real leader of a team. Russ is going to come in here. He's going to be like, "What the heck is going on? What are y'all doing in here?" He's at least going to speak up. When Brian was sitting there and everybody was talking about the points, Russ was the one person that stood up and was like, "How about we go win this game?"
Yeah. All right. Oh, man. Well, next up, we're going to get into what the Bulls did at the trade deadline, aka nothing. But before we do that, got to talk to you guys.
AKME nothing, actually.
Facts.
Bad
we understand it. We're going to talk to you guys about FanDuel. This year, the only app that you need at your Super Bowl party is FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. We're really excited about our new sports book partner for Locked On because they're the #1 sports book in America, and that's FanDuel. If you're new to FanDuel, that's even better. They have so many great features that make betting on sports fun and easy. Download FanDuel now so you can bet Super Bowl 57 with a no sweat first bet. You'll get up to $3,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel lets you bet on everything from the money line to the point spread to who will score a touchdown. The FanDuel Sports app is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Best of all, you can get paid your winnings instantly. So join FanDuel today at FanDuel.com/lockedon to claim your no sweat first bet on Super Bowl 57. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
We appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. If you missed it today, go check out the recap of the NBA trade deadline show that we had today. I was live on that as well. Me, Nick Angstead. We had John Corrales in that mug. We had a bevy of people in there. By the way, a bevy is my favorite word now because that's how many picks the Bears are going to get back. It's like, what is the measurement of that? Make sure to check that out over on Locked On NBA. Great show. Tune in with us on that one as well.
All right, Pat. So the trade deadline went down, and everyone was waiting, what is AK going to do to improve this roster? Was he going to make a move? What assets was he going to move? Was Zach LaVine going to be traded? Was it going to be somebody like Kobe White, Alex Caruso? And we just finished the segment because that's what happened at the trade deadline for the Chicago Bulls. A big fat nothing.
I'll say this. I'm not ready. Or I'm not the person that wants the Bulls to make moves because everybody else is making moves. I've never been that person. Last year when the Bulls didn't make moves, it didn't make sense for the Bulls to make moves. It just didn't, right? Like there weren't trades that I was like, oh my God, you get exponentially better. You just needed to get healthy. This year you could see the issues. This year you can see the problems that are going on with the Bulls. It's not even hard to see. Like literally from
Stevie Wonder song.
Literally from one team to another. You know, Shaq don't believe Stevie Wonder is blind. That's a whole nother story though. From one team to another, you saw the difference that a point guard makes on one team and it makes on your team. You saw point guards get traded away today. You saw big men get traded away today. Big men that you have talked about wanting in the offseason or had talked about wanting in the offseason. You saw multiple pieces continue to sit on benches that just aren't getting played because the teams don't know what their team is right now. And you did nothing. Today pissed me off because there's no answers. And I'm not just talking about from AK. There's no answers on the court. There's no answers from the coaching staff. There's no answers in the organization. And when they asked AK about what's going on here, he said, oh, we were on the phones all day. Well, I hate to tell you this, right? But here's the biggest part. Here's one of my favorite sayings in the world. Don't confuse activity with accomplishment.
Wait, hold on. Wait. I need you to say that one more time for the people in the back.
Don't confuse activity with accomplishment. Hey, don't Tony Snell it. Tony Snell got 38 minutes in a game, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 turnovers.
How many fouls did he have?
Active. I don't know if he got any fouls that game. He might actually. I bet you he probably had a good defensive rating there. But he's done that multiple times. That's the tough part. He's done that like multiple times in his career. But you have no answers here. You're sitting here talking about we were on the phones all day. We wanted to be buyers, not sellers. That's fine. I'm okay with you being buyers and not sellers. I saw second-round picks getting pieces that could have helped you.
Mm.
Gary Payton II went for 5 second-round picks. Now, I'm not telling you that you could have gotten Gary Payton II for 5 second-round picks. That's probably a relationship that's already built up between Portland and Golden State, right? Something that they've worked out, and so you're a little more okay with doing that. But, dog, there were like 30 – I believe there were 32 second-round picks traded today.
That's
wild, for regular pieces. Jakob Poeltl went for a first, 2 seconds, and a player. That's Kem Birch. That's Marko Simonovic. It's Tony Bradley.
No, he wish he was.
It's Andre Drummond.
That's a fact.
There are pieces for you to get, and you just. Oh yeah, what y'all want for? Little high, my bad. I apologize. Little high. Can you come down on the price? I don't know why I made him French. He's not French. I don't know. I didn't have AKs. I don't know, bro.
Every time I try to do AK, they say I sound Jamaican. So I'm not even.
I'm not gonna lie. Your European accent for somebody that actually lived. It's pretty bad, bro. Like you do Vooch, and I'm just like Vooch speaks better English than both of us, and you make him sound like a caveman.
Because if you want me to start speaking German, I can speak German. But I guess that's I guess that's the barrier is that I can speak German, but I can't do a European accent trying to sound American. It's very strange.
So wait. Does your German sound black? Is that what you?
My German sounds. I'm near fluent in German. Near.
But does it sound German or does it sound like a black dude speaking German?
No,
like, you sound like.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you sound like you from the South Side?
No,
of
like
Chicago?
if you heard me and my sister speak German, you'd probably be like, "Wait a second, did that just come out their mouth?"
I don't know, dog. I don't know. I mean, what did I know you've been yelling about it all day, but like, what realistically did the trade deadline show you about this team?
It showed me this. We have a long way to go before anything improves on this team. And by that I mean a very, very long way to go. It's not gonna change anytime soon. Even for the Bulls fans that say blow it all up, and I talked about this over on Central as well. Like I'm not even confident, even if they did blow it all up, that they draft well. Like every aspect of this team. Let's just look at it. You have your $215 million man in Zach LaVine that is supposed to at least be an efficient scorer that hasn't been an efficient scorer since the first 25 games of last season. You have your prospects, they're supposed to be developing in Ayo, Kobe White, Dalen Terry, Patrick Williams, and none of them are developing in a meaningful way. Kobe White, I'll give it to him, but that's him putting in work in the offseason. You're not developing your younger players. You have Vooch. Vooch is doing his job. Shout out to Vooch. Not today, but Vooch typically does his job. But nothing on this team is working in the way. You have a head coach that you gave an extension that you initially said that you wanted to bring him in because of his ability to develop. He's not doing that. What's happening here? There's the only consistency here is it's going to be a long time until things get better. And the Reinsdorfs.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The biggest thing here is that your leadership has to be players.
Mm-hmm.
You want your coach to be a leader, right? You like Pop is the leader over in San Antonio. We know that for a fact, right? 110%. Pop's the leader of that team, but that leadership needs to be put out on the floor. You don't have anybody to do that. And it's the same thing I started the year with. Who's going to be the guy that's going to be Draymond Green? Who's going to be Joakim Noah? Who's going to be Dennis Rodman? Who's going to be grit and grime and sit there and hold you accountable? Joakim Noah was in the season 1 year and tried to pick a fight with a dude they call Body.
And then denied it. It was like, what do I look like trying to fight the strongest guy in the league? And then the players were like, no, he tried to fight him. Ben Wallace. Yeah.
Tried to fight him. First day. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was first day, but it's just, it's one of those things that like, bro, like you don't have anybody on this team that's going to sit there and give this team a kick in the butt, including the head coach. And that's where the problems will come in continuously. You'll be able to win some games. You will. You'll be able to go out there. But you know what? Let's just do a quick exercise. Who's the leader on the Boston Celtics?
Marcus Smart.
Who's the leader on the Golden State Warriors?
Steph Curry.
Lakers.
LeBron James.
Dallas.
Luka.
You see how quickly we can do that? Who's the leader on the Chicago Bulls? Because at this point, I'm sitting here like, hey, what Michael Reinsdorf got going on? Because I can't say Billy. I can't say Zach.
I'll tell you who's the leader of the Chicago Bulls being cheap. The concept of being cheap.
That, I mean, we weren't even paying. Like, we can't even blame this on cheap now.
Yeah.
What were we paying today? None of the players that got traded are making money. Kevin Durant is making money, but like, really, who's getting paid? Jakopoto don't make that much. Freaking Mo Bamba don't make that much. Who's really getting paid? Mo Bamba actually do make a good
I was about to say Mo Bamba and Jakopoto. Well, Jakopoto is double digits in the millions as well, I believe.
I mean, we talk about like what, 14, 15? I don't think he's in the 20s.
No, he's not in the 20s. Yeah,
hey, that's regular money. That's cheap. We're not talking about expensive players.
You're talking about expensive for other teams. For the Chicago Bulls, that's expensive contract there, brother. That's an expensive contract.
I feel like we could say that previously, but like DeMar makes over 20, Zach makes over 30, Lonzo makes over 20, Vooch makes over 20. Like that's like we could say like the pieces that we bringing in, right? The bench pieces, but like it's a lot of people on this team making money. It's the same where the same story does continue, and we do got to get to this final topic as well. Where the same story does continue though, is that you're paying people. Are you paying the right people? You gave Carlos Boozer 80 plus.
Now we went back to Carlos Boozer.
I'm just saying, right? Because this is the thing about all Chicago teams. They're cheap. They're not cheap. They pay the wrong people.
No, but it's not that. With the Chicago Bulls, it is cheap because it's the avoidance of it's the cost cutting deals that it's the cost cutting deals that they'll spend and do as long as you don't go into the luxury tax, you can spend everything up into that luxury tax bill. But when you look at acquiring Jakopoto, I just looked it up, only made 8.9. So we absolutely could have acquired him for like a Caruso.
You're not talking about expensive players.
But you're looking at it's just this team, bro.
And that's the problem. You know what I mean? We are the smallest big market team in the NBA. We are mom and pop. Even with AK here, he's changed so much, but we are mom and pop. That's how this team is run. Everybody has to get along. Everybody has to be kumbaya. You know when the White Sox were winning, or when the Chicago Bulls were winning? When Michael Jordan was sitting there calling everybody a hoe in practice.
Yeah, that's true.
which is wild. Just to go back and
also,
see some of that stuff.
Somebody just said that the Mavericks are cheap. The Mavericks have the 5th highest payroll in the NBA, but it's
between like 3 players though.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
It's also because Kyrie Irving just got traded there. They did not have the 5th highest payroll previously.
Well, no, they traded, so it's the same salary. They had a match salary, so they still had to be into the luxury tax. All I can say is this: I grew up a fan of the Bulls, and we have throughout our history you can look at every version of the team was eventually affected by cheapness. It just was. Now, I'm not saying that this is the problem now. It's not. It's not the only problem. There's so many problems here. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that you orchestrated signing trades to bring DeMar and Lonzo here, and then I believe we used an exception to bring in Alex Caruso in a year we did not have cap space. At this point now, to get out of where we are, to whether you want to get out of it or you want to try to improve, taking on salary is going to be one of those things that has to be a part of it. And I don't know if the ownership group is going to allow that. That is not to excuse AK, Eversley, whoever it is, for not making moves. When you sit up there, and like I said, I'm using AK's own words. He said this season is it's going to be a failure if we don't make it to the second round. I tell you what, I know I'm not trying to predict the future, but it's looking highly unlikely we making it to the second round. So you've been a failure by your own take my expectations, take the fan expectations, take every expectations out of the equation. AK's own definition of defining what will be a successful season for the Chicago Bulls, we have not hit.
Before we get up out of here, man, because we got a little bit of time left here. There is still a market that we can't hit. Unfortunately, it's the same market that we found Tristan Thompson in. But the buyout pool is
it projects to be a little bit better.
It's a better buyout pool this year, and there could be multiple players on it that the Bulls want to bring in. Of course, Russell Westbrook's the name that's been rumored here. Who are the players on the buyout market that you feel like the Bulls need to bring to Chicago?
Wait, because we don't have, because initially it was like, hey, Jay Crowder may be bought out, and then he went to the Bucks. He's definitely not going to be bought out now. Yeah. Bought out right now. So
they were thirsty for him.
Listen, round bro, this 5 second round. Hey, listen, you fancy, bro.
How many second rounders equals a first? Like, that's kind of how I felt today. I was like, how many of these you got to put together?
I think 4. I think we can put it 3 or 4. 3 or 4 equal a first.
Hey man,
so they basically give a first and a first and 2 seconds for Jay Crowder. But I mean, of course, the Russ and John Wall interest me. It's as bench pieces, not as starters for me. There's somebody else. I don't have everything like a list in front of me.
I got some names up here, right? And I'm not gonna lie, there's some interesting names on this list, right? So Terrence Ross. Any interest in Terrence Ross?
I don't hate it. Yeah, it's like I don't hate it. I don't love it.
Yeah, okay. I kind of If you signed him, I'd be like, you signed another body. Reggie Jackson.
Slide no.
He makes I mean, listen, I've watched the Clippers games because I like watching Kawhi and PG, and he makes a lot of mistakes. Like he looked. Hey, I want to kill Russell Westbrook. Reggie not too far off. Seth Curry.
Yes.
I would 110% out of every point guard on this list. I would 110% see if you can get Seth Curry, but you're taking the chance of bringing in another injured point guard.
This is true.
And he's had a slew of injuries this season. I mean, a lot. But if you feel like you're going to make the playoffs, he's a guy that absolutely could come in and run an offense for you and feel good. Danny Green.
Bro, if we miss out on everybody else, because to me, I know Danny Green and what he's done for other teams before, but is he still even that player?
35, coming back off of an ACL. I mean, all he is now is 3. He's no D now.
Yeah, this is true. Well,
I don't know if that's one. I thought about it, but I don't know.
That was a mild pause.
Yeah,
also, hold on. Somebody asked a question on why we bring Seth here. Keep in mind, we're talking buyout candidates. So buyout candidates are not their full contract.
Why would they buy out Seth? He's making $8 million. Basically, just because.
And at this point in the season, most players' contracts are paid off. When they're buying out players at this point in time, you're not paying the full $8 million. You're not even paying. You're paying not 2/3 of the contract has been paid by this point of the season already. So you're not buying out the full 8. Yeah.
And the money ain't even a factor. It's more so the fact that every time they try to put this boy on the court, he's hurt 15 games into it.
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka.
Yes.
Bringing in Serge. I wouldn't be mad at Serge off the bench.
I wouldn't be mad. Especially if we still have Drummond because we're not relying on them heavy minutes. I like Serge.
Kevin Love is a name that surprised me.
Yeah, I know. And I've bounced back and forth because the rebounding aspect, he brings that. 3-point shooting, he brings that he killed us earlier this season with 3-point shooting. But the defense, that's the thing that concerns me with that.
I mean, he can't play it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, he never really did. He couldn't do it when he was 24 years old. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Patrick Beverley.
Yes. If the 2 other point guards go somewhere else, I wouldn't mind Patrick Beverley to come in because he's definitely going to be somebody who's going to look Zach in the face and be like, bro, what you doing?
But here's the problem, right? Pat's got the He's got the reputation of that. You already know that Muzz are going to be trying to tune him out the second he gets here. I love it.
I was going to be looking at him like
for the Chicago aggression. I love it for just looking Ayo Dosunmu in the face and being like, bro, you
close your mouth. Close your mouth, bro. Like,
Ayo do be looking confused, bro.
That's Ayo's default expression. Keep going.
John Wall.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook.
Bro, I'm really iffy on that, bro. Like, I've gone back and forth probably about 10 times on Russell Westbrook in the last 24 hours. I won't hate it.
I would go get Russ, but that's just me. The tough part is the only two teams that we're even remotely possibly being rumored to get, only two players we're being remotely possibly rumored to get, because Russ is the preferred teams are the Clippers and Heat. Clippers don't want him now because they just got 2 point guards. So basically he's probably going to end up on the Heat. Seth Curry, because they broke it down as teams to watch for, basically all of them. And then Reggie Jackson, because they break it down as teams to watch for, people who miss out on Westbrook and Beverly.
Fair. Somebody in the chat mentioned Will Barton. How do you feel about Will Barton?
I don't hate Will Barton, but what is Will Barton? What is he? Is he 6'5", 6? Like, we got that guy.
6'5", 180 pounds. I mean, he didn't do much in Washington this season, but just last season he was a 14 point per game scorer on decent efficiency, about 43%, 36% from 3-point range, taking. But see, that's the thing. He did that he took 12 shots a game to get 14 points. He's not getting 12 shots a game on this.
And you're missing the biggest point, my boy. He came from Denver.
That's true.
When I'm playing next to the league 2-time league MVP, people aren't worried about the name Will Barton when they're closing out and they're like, oh snap, Will Barton's back there. That's when you see Will Barton become a 14 point per game player. I wouldn't hate it, but I mean, like, he doesn't really address much for this team. And the biggest problem with this team is it's not the efficiency on shots, it's the amount of shots.
That's true.
The efficiency has been hurt lately, but like the Bulls just don't take shots.
That's a great point.
They just don't. Matthew says, Pat, the Clippers didn't get any point guards. I don't think Eric, Gordon, and Bones are considered point guards. Bones is a 2. Eric is probably a point. Eric is a point. He's not probably. Eric's a point. He's been a point his whole career. But yeah, the buyout market, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's top heavy. There's some pieces you can get that I wouldn't hate, but there's nothing I love. And that's the buyout
That's
market.
a great way to put it. There's nothing I love at the buyout market. There are some pieces that could potentially help us considerably, but I mean, it's buyout candidates, so it kind of is like, all right, if they don't work out, they don't work out. You're not like giving any long-term assets up or money up, but even then, as long as this team continues to play heartless, whatever buyout candidate is going to introduce some heart. All right.
I mean, the only one I think I'm going to be real might be Seth Curry. And I'm just like, I don't even know if he's going to be healthy enough to play for the rest of the season. He's the only one I look at and I'm like, man, I would really like to see him in a Bull jersey, bro. Like,
yeah,
it's the only one. I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough. Hey, appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us, man. You can follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. We're also streaming this on Twitter, so just go on over there and follow us on Twitter real quick. Appreciate y'all. And then, y'all stay safe out there. Chicago Bulls are bad.
You guys can follow me at CEO Haize, the CEO Haize. Bulls got me so confused I can't even spell my name. Thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen today. Now, for your second listen, go and check out Locked On Game to Game NBA. Every moment, every top performance, every result. Locked On Game to Game covers every game from across the NBA with local analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NBA, available on Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. This has been Locked On Bulls. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
This team sucks.